Hello, everybody. I'm Ashley Lumsden, and I'm the Education Program Manager here at FieldPulse, and I would like to welcome you to our Ask a Pro series. If you're unfamiliar with what Ask a Pro is, it's a live webinar series where we bring on industry experts to share their knowledge and expertise on all things that are going to benefit your business operations. We will be answering questions submitted by you guys as you registered for this live session, but just remember at any point you can ask us live questions by using the Q&A function within Zoom. Don't get it confused with the chat function. Please use the Q&A function to ask questions to me as the host live. Today's guests are Megan and Rick with Acorn Finance. They are going to be sharing some insights from years of experience working with contractors and service pros and offering homeowner financing the right way. So welcome both Megan and Rick. We're so happy to have you here today.
Thanks, Ashley. We're excited to be here.
All right, well, let's just jump right in with questions. We have a lot that people submitted as they registered today. So to get started, everyone is curious, what are the primary benefits for offering homeowner financing?
Wow, always a good starter question there, Ashley. There's so many layers to that answer, but I think the two that stick out to me the most is average ticket and close rate. From, your contractor's perspective, those are the two key benefits. I think, the better job you can do showing the affordability to the homeowner of your project and getting it done, I think it's the more likely they're, going to proceed now versus later. I also think that, the current market, it's kind of dictating, homeowners are really out of the loop on how much these things cost, how much a new roof is, how much a new HVAC is. I feel like they're still living in those days where it's like $3,000 for everything, right? And not every homeowner is going to have that savings, that 401k, the money set aside for a rainy day. And I mean, even if they do, like, let's just say they have it in savings, I think it's such a key tool to at least show them a way you could use someone else's money to get your project done. There's no prepayment penalty. You can always pay it off, let a vendor, pay for this for now. I also wanted to share, Ashley, I'll be sharing this a little bit today, but we did a huge survey with our borrowers recently, about 1,000 homeowners, just, trying to get some intel. But about 74% of them said that the reason they postpone or don't move forward at your point of sale is because of cost. They didn't realize how much it was going to be, wasn't prepared, and decided to not move forward. So again, close rate, average ticket, those are the key benefits, I think, right now for financing.
74% is a large number. I was not expecting that. So those of you that are with us live viewing today, 74%, wow, are not moving forward because of the cost of things. So Acorn Finance is an example of something that you can move forward with to offer to your customers.
Gosh, even if you could capture half of those ones, that would be huge to your bottom line.
Yeah, for sure. Moving right along, we had a question come in about what kind of impact have you seen financing make both on the customer experience and on business results like close rates, job size, revenue? Can you speak more to that? I know you just kind of did a little bit, but anything else you can share for our viewers today?
I'll take that one. Yeah, as a contractor myself, I sold in-home for 25 years and trained sales teams and stuff like that. The biggest impact that we saw is when we started offering financing and really talking about it is your average ticket going up. We saw about a 70% uptick in the average ticket. And even with like CertaPro as one of our national partners, they're seeing about the same rate. And it's just a matter of talking about it, bringing the financing up so that the homeowner knows that they don't have to go search for it. But it makes it too, if you think about like how many times you've gone to a job and say it's like HVAC, for example, where my air conditioner doesn't work. And so you're just kind of focusing on that one specific thing of getting the air conditioning done. But if you price the whole system out with financing and make it affordable, that's where we saw the uptick is that more people do a full system, their duct work, taking care of like the entire problem because it's not that much a month to do it. I also had a contractor that kind of goes into this a little bit that talked to me a couple weeks ago. And when I talk to new contractors, I try to find out, what do you sell? What are you doing? Kind of where you're at. And it was funny. He brought up a great example of he sold windows. He went to somebody's house, The problem is that she had two bad windows, so he priced out just that problem. But then when he left the estimate and said, I'll follow back up with you, because at that time he didn't have financing, 2 weeks went by. He followed back up. She went with another company, the most expensive company in town, and bought the whole house of windows because they presented the offer with financing and its affordability. So that, kind of tells you when you talk about it that way, people do move forward, and generally they move forward with a bigger chunk or a bigger project.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that monthly breakdown definitely makes it more digestible for our customers instead of just presenting that one big ticket item up front. So, great point there. Another question that came in was what financing trends are you guys seeing now, especially across the trades, and how are top performing businesses using it to grow?
Yeah, the biggest trend right now, especially just where the economy is, financing is just becoming more and more popular. And it's not, I don't think it's because they can't afford it. What we're seeing and what the customers are saying is that they have the money, they just don't want to, jump into that nest egg and drain it just for this project. So financing makes it a little bit more affordable. It also makes it safer. We have, we can set you guys up with like promo stuff where they could do like a 1 year same as cash. Those are becoming bigger and bigger right now, just so that like in the future I'm getting a bonus. I need to get this done. It gives me some time to get it done without making any payments and then pay it off when I get that other bonus down the line. And that's really what we're seeing is more people holding on to that savings, looking towards financing to make it kind of a better investment. And then they do, they don't take it to term, but they do pay it off early.
This kind of goes into the next question that came in was how has homeowner demand for financing changed in the most recent years and what do customers expect from it now?
I'll take that one. I mean, similar, but first of all, no one, we don't have the economic outlook right now, right? No one's talking about everything is so much more expensive. And I think even homeowners who Rick has said even have the savings to do things are at least interested in hearing their options. And we've seen such a high demand for it. I also think, the simplicity of our product, we disperse funds usually within 1 to 2 business days. So even as a contractor, when you're hearing a homeowner say, hey, I'm probably going to look into an equity line or a HELOC, or I'm going to go to my credit union and get a personal loan. That's great, guys, but that's going to take 30, 60 days down the line. Add that in with your install, ordering materials. I think this is a quick way for it's like, hey, you're going to get those funds in 1 to 2 business days, get the project done, and you can always look into your other options later. So I think, yes, the demand has increased, but I also think we've simplified that a little bit and tried to make it as easy as possible for these customers.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to your statistic too of like 74% are wanting financing offered on just about everything. So,
Yep.
you know,
Also,
might as
actually,
well.
to tack onto that, of those 74%, 33% say they're looking into personal loans specifically. So with our marketplace, we have over 15 lenders in our product, and what better way to shop those loans for them than our product?
For sure. All right, next one for you guys. What are some of the challenges that come with offering homeowner financing options that pros may not know about, and how can we effectively overcome them?
Okay, I'll take that one, Rick. We're the ones over here, like, we want to make it as simple as possible, right? I think there's a stigma around financing. The joke at our company is it's kind of the F word in the room. It's just, but I think, from a borrower perspective, just think of all your other stuff that you take loans out on: cars, homes, student loans, right? I think there's a stigma around it that it's complicated, right? Like it's going to be a hard thing to do. I also think borrowers always have different concerns, but it's usually around rate, payment, total payback. As much as you're showing them a small monthly payment, it might be on a 10-year loan, and they're going to think through that at some point, right? So, I do think that's a point that as the contractor, you're the person at the kitchen table, the more confident you can sound in talking through those things with them, or at least getting someone from our team to talk through with them, it's just going to ease their minds. We don't want you guys cramping up either when they start asking all these questions about the financing and the contractor sweating like, I just did my bid, now I got to talk about the financing. We totally get it, right? We're trying to, simplify the product for you guys and make it as easy as possible. I also think this is where our partnership with FieldPulse, no matter your level of understanding with financing, no matter how long you've been in business, it's right in your portal. It's right in your invoice. FieldPulse has made it probably the simplest it can be to get financing for your business. I also think, and back to the survey, Ashley, just helps when you're talking through these things in home. But of all of our borrowers surveyed, about 52% said they're going to look at the APR, the rate first. About 44% they're going to look at monthly payment, right? And so these are the little pieces of info we have that we try and educate our contractors and users on, so you're better prepared in the home. Sometimes it's easy as asking that question. Hey, Ashley, I know we're talking through some financing. What's more important to you right now? Is it the lowest monthly payment, or is it you want to pay it off as soon as possible with the lowest rate? These are things our team and FieldPulse supporting this. We really try and talk through with you, and especially as a contractor, feeling as confident as possible when you're talking through financing.
I appreciate those talk tracks a lot, and I'm sure our viewers here with us today do.
Can you tell we do it all the time? So bear with us. That's all we do. So.
No, you guys are great at it. I'm curious though, are there any situations where offering homeowner financing is not ideal, and how do you identify those situations?
It's kind of biased, but I'm going to say no. You should always bring up financing because it's I call it prejudging the customer. You don't want to prejudge somebody because they may be in a situation that, not every customer is going to tell you like, "Hey, I have $5,000 in my bank. I got this set aside. I'm ready to go," or "I really need this done, but I have literally no money and I don't know how I'm going to do it." So you don't want to prejudge. You just offer it up, be real simple about it. Just, "Hey, you know what? It's on your estimate. I'm happy to answer any questions, but it's right there." And just simply bringing it up because they don't know and you don't know what the situation is. And think back on those leads that you've had. Some of those no's just could be that they can't afford it. And you didn't, get that personal in that conversation. That's where financing can really overcome it. So I would offer it to every single customer and let them decide what they want to do.
Hey, I'm with you. Rick is our source of truth. He says offer it to everybody. We're trying it.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
All right. If a contractor is unsure about offering financing, what is one thing you'd want them to know before making a decision?
Ooh. So obviously, we hate to hear stories of guys, like Rick said one earlier, they're losing a job. They actually bidded less because they didn't offer financing. And I think what I try and put out there is if like as a business owner, right, you are already dealing with, trust me, that's one thing Rick and I have learned about sitting with our contractors is we want financing to be the least of their worries, right? And if it's something that you're feeling like you're having to get involved with a lot, or it's not as simple as you thought, we want to remove that stigma, period, number one. Number two, I think always look into cost, right? Your bottom line. I think some of the financing out there right now is charging quite a bit of money to participate in that. And our open product, which all FieldPulse users automatically get, is a no dealer fee product, meaning any contractor gets that for free. They have access to financing. There's obviously levels to that. We can always go through with them. But it's probably the simplest it can be for getting started with financing. We're confident that it's as easy as it can be for you guys. And again, if it's something that's a pain point in your business, financing, talk to us. We want to know. I always say if we don't know, we can't help. And even if it was another vendor, these are things we really try and advocate with you guys to talk through, let us know, and we can get to the bottom of where there's a miscue there. But as far as our partnership, probably the easiest way you can get financing. It should not make you sweat. It should be that easy.
Yeah, that no dealer fee is a huge bonus for sure. We had a live question come through. So someone said they signed up for Acorn as soon as it was offered and they have yet to have anyone take advantage of it. Do you guys have any tips on getting people to start utilizing this financing option that's offered?
Good question. I mean, Rick and I might tag team this, but one, I would say as much as we've made it so easy with FieldPulse, it's built in, you definitely want to be bringing it up, talking through it, right? And at the end of the day, it is a tool in your tool belt, right? It's not every customer is going to take it. It's not going to change the game on every single deal, but it's there when you need it. And, the way I look at it, even if it's those 2 to 3 extra deals a month that you utilize because of financing, that's a win. I think Rick is great. I mean, Rick, you guys, he comes from like a 10-step in-home process. So he's the one who's like, if you're not getting people to take, it's probably somewhere in your pitch. And that's things that our team loves to break down with you. It's not necessarily to tell you how to sell. It's more to say, hey, what are you doing? How are you doing this? And we can let you know where we think you can fit it in a little bit better and just make it that much better for you. Rick, did I answer that okay? I mean, you're the contractor.
Yeah,
What do you
I
think?
mean, that's perfect.
Okay.
Do you have any talk tracks, Rick, that we could maybe, steal
Yeah,
and
I
use on
mean,
our own?
I yeah, I think we called it a warm up, but when you first get to the house, you show up, you get inside, and you start talking to the homeowner, and you're just kind of building rapport, and you're going to talk about your company naturally and the products, and kind of hopefully, why you think you're the best fit and all that. That's all what we call a warm up, but that's where you should also bring up financing and just let people know, hey, because you're in their house and it's different. Some of these people may have never got a home improvement bid. I mean, you're starting to see younger people own homes and they don't know. And so bringing it up and just letting them know, hey, I'm here. This is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to measure everything. I'm going to go over all the product with you, show you how I install it. And by the way, we have financing. So if you guys decide to move forward today, we have that taken care of and can make it super affordable. And just that's it. Just bring it up simply, talking about what you do as an everyday job.
Yeah, I like that bit. Just simply bringing it up lets them know that that's available to them. And if you don't have it on any marketing collateral or on your website, the least you can do is just bring it up verbally when you're with them. So great point there. One thing that I know our customers have asked about before is how do I encourage this without overwhelming my customer? I think that's the main concern is I don't want to be too pushy or unload a bunch of jargon on them about financing. Any suggestions there?
Yeah, that's
So
the same thing. Sorry, just bring it
Right.
up casually, and then that way, because if you bring it up in the front half of the conversation of just like when you're, hey, as a matter of fact, I'm talking about my company and the things that we do, and we offer financing. Some people will stop you there and just say, hey, that's cool. We're thinking we've set aside some stuff. We're going to pay cash. Great, no problem. But again, just wanted to know, let you know it's there as, if you guys change your mind and want to, switch over. And you'll be surprised. Just softly bring it up. And then when you present price, it's already there. So that's the second time I would say to do it is that, hey, remember we talked about this earlier? Here's the financing option. And it puts that low monthly payment there for you too. You don't really have to push it. It's just something you want to talk about. Because one of the other surveys that we did like 2 years ago, I still remember because they asked the customer, what made you decide to finance it? And they said, because the contractor brought it up. I had no idea that that was even a possibility. And the other thing that they said that was really popular was that's the way that most customers do it. That's what the contractor would tell them. Most of my customers like to finance it, make it affordable. And so literally those are the two reasons that all those people used us that year was just the contractor bringing it up.
I love that. This kind of goes next into the next question that we have. So a lot of people are wondering within their workflow, when is the best time to start mentioning the financing? I know you said just bring it up, but like think about their workflow when they're building an estimate or when they're presenting an invoice. Do you have a best practice recommendation of when to first
Yeah.
initially offer that? Is that during the estimate stage?
Yeah, so like Megan said, I'm kind of a step follower. So I think of it as like during your company story and your warm up, like I said, you bring it up. And then we called it step seven, but that was when you kind of recap everything. Because when you think about some of your presentations, some of you guys may not really have, two-hour presentations, but some of you do. When you start getting talking with that customer, you brought that up over 2 hours ago and all the stuff that, the benefits that your product can give that customer. So on step seven, we called it a pre-close, but it was just a, hey, let's set back, let's go over the sheet and review everything that you guys are going to do. And so here's your roof, here's your color, here's the type of install that you guys picked out just to review everything. But what you're really doing is building value during that time and recapping everything that you've put in place over the last couple hours. And then at the same time, and here is what the financing is. Just bring it up again because you brought it up 2 hours ago. It's just a nice reminder. So I would say the best places to bring it up is at the start in the warm up. And then, if you want to in the middle, that's fine. But then the next spot definitely is at the end when you're presenting price and it's on there so that they know where it is and they can take advantage of it.
And I think that fits well into the workflow here at FieldPulse, like during that estimate stage, presenting it then, so then that money is available when it comes time to actually getting paid on that final invoice. Would you guys say that's accurate?
100%. I was gonna, Rick, by the way, perfect job. I would add, we get a lot of feedback on the back end, you guys, that the borrower saw it on the estimate, but like didn't know what it was or where to go with it. Like, yes, the payment's there, but they're also looking into loans and it can feel a little like I just clicked on it, but I didn't know what to do. Right. So in turn, I think sometimes it's as easy as the one foot out the door theory of just like, hey, on our invoice, we have our financing built in there. Go ahead and take a look. If you want to apply, it takes 10 seconds to get you offers. That's something that comes back a lot. It's like, oh, I don't have time to do that right now. This takes like 30 seconds, guys, at the most. And so sometimes that's where I think it's like, hey, it's there. I'm here. If you have questions, let me know. Rick's is obviously a little bit more intricate than that, but sometimes I thought it was important. We do get a lot of borrower feedback that like, hey, I saw it there. I didn't quite know what to do. So
that's valuable feedback. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get into the logistics here. Our viewers are wanting to know, what does it take to get started with offering financing, whether it's technically or operationally? Where do they begin?
All the above, which funny, I feel like we've already kind of gone through some of this, but I mean, one, FieldPulse partnership, you work with FieldPulse, you're automatically getting Acorn. Fantastic, right? But I also think we have multiple products. The one you get with FieldPulse is our open platform. It's a marketplace. I kind of explained it briefly earlier, but essentially we have about 15 lenders at a time on the platform. It's one application and it gets shopped to all 15 lenders. We come back with some pre-approvals for your borrower within 30 seconds. I'm probably being high there. It's probably 10 seconds. Okay. We also have other products if you want promo financing, such as like a 12-month same as cash, 18-month same as cash, those types of things. We can walk you through that as well. We also have a fantastic team here that, can meet with you, train with you. You can meet with Rick. He'll walk you through technically, operationally, what these things look like. I would say, just from a process standpoint, we're all creatures of habit, right? If you're not working it in to your process, which if you're using FieldPulse, it's already built in there, fantastic from a technology piece. But as long as you get comfortable with it, I promise you do those first few, it's going to be like riding a bike, right? We don't know what we don't know, but if we're not trying, you're never going to get comfortable with it either.
Yeah, and I think you guys have given them some good talk tracks today that they can hopefully steal and use in their process with customers. So thank you for that. We have another live question that came through. So they want to know, can you explain the process? We currently understand that the money goes straight to the customer, not me as the contractor. Is this true? Does the contractor have to try and collect money from the customer ever?
Good question. I can take this one, Rick. So the open platform that FieldPulse users automatically have, you are correct. Funds go to the borrower directly. We always train, you kind of got to treat it like a cash job, right? So on your contract, once they've secured the financing, we would write in there, within 1 to 2 business days of securing your funds, we'll be taking our first 10% or we'll get you on the install schedule. What I like to tell you guys too, you also get an email notifying you when the borrower receives their funds, right? So it's always a good little click like, Mr. Johnson got his money. I better check back in, right? So that's true. But from a process standpoint, once they get their offers and they see one they like and select it, it takes them to our lender partners website. That's where they'll do their paperwork, get everything, their bank account set up. And again, usually within 1 to 2 business days, those loans are deposited. Okay. I also like to add in here, Ashley, usually when this question comes up, no prejudgment, you're probably wondering if there is an option to get paid directly. So I do like to put that in there. One of our other products we offer, our merchant product, which you can get signed up for as well. That's a different model and you can get paid directly on that one as well. So something we kind of pride ourselves with, something I think FieldPulse really liked as well about us is we really think of ourselves as a one-stop shop for financing. Whichever one you're looking for, we have a need for or a want to fit your needs. So that's what I would recommend. But yes, that's the process.
Perfect. Another live question that came in is there a minimum amount that you can finance?
I'll let Rick take that one. We like high amounts, but
Yeah, with the open product, you can go as low as $1,000, and you can go up to 100,000. And generally, the next question is, what credit scores? And we can go
yeah,
as low as 550 on the credit score as well.
yeah. Something too, actually, I think this is just an education piece. And again, like we live and breathe by repairs sometimes, right? Those smaller ticket jobs, sometimes they lead to a bigger one later. Totally get that. Just keep in mind for banks, usually the lower the ticket, those terms aren't always as competitive. So just keep that in mind. We get a lot of feedback. Well, we got a really high rate. We look, it's like a $1,500 ticket. Think of it like those are more like credit card rates and stuff like that. So just an education piece there. If that comes back, we also are happy to talk through that sometimes with borrowers, but just keep that in mind.
Good to know. One other question that we had come in was that do you guys have any tips for training team members to feel confident in offering financing in the field? Because I guarantee you a lot of them that are live attending today are maybe the owners of the business or an admin and not actually a service tech. So, what are some tips that they could bring back to their team to make sure that they feel confident in the field?
Get Rick in your sales meeting. No, um, we pride ourselves. Usually we do an initial training, but we're always trying to dive deeper. One of the questions Rick and his team will ask is how many sales reps do you have? How many techs do you have? Who's actually selling? Um, we would love to meet with them as well. We also have some great content in our portal, guys, that you guys get access to. I think Rick has to turn it on. Check me on that. But there's some great help center content in there. A landing page as well. Ashley, we have with FieldPulse, where we have like quick basic how-to questions in there. If this comes up, what's a fact, like a fact page. We have a video of how it works in there. So if you're looking for just basic stuff like that, you could show your sales reps. We have all that ready to go for you. But again, I really encourage, if you're really looking to like get financing in your day-to-day with your team, schedule a meeting with us. We're happy to meet with you.
Sweet. Good to know they have access to our source of truth here, both of you guys from Acorn. That's great. All right. Another question for you guys. How can contractors track the performance or ROI of financing once it's in place?
Yeah, I can take that one. And then, like Megan said, this goes back to if you guys set up an appointment with me, with FieldPulse, it's an integration, so it's just that widget and the payment calculator. But what we could do is if you call, I can add you to the portal that Megan was talking about, and in there it tracks literally everything. So the portal has a way to break down the app to funding conversions. It tells you your average ticket. And like she said, there's so many tools in there. Like it has a way to add it to your website. It has a way to give customer handouts. And it does have training videos, but I'm more than happy to help, talk to you and with your team as well. So all that is in there. We could add it. Yeah, a lot of the users already that have talked to me, we've added them to the portal already. So that way it just tracks everything that comes through the Field Pulse app, and you have a way to really look at it and break it down for your team.
Also, Ashley, maybe if you get a list of attendees, Rick and I'd be happy to follow up with them. We could also maybe share the landing page we created with Field Pulse as well. Always a good starting place.
Yeah, that would be great. I feel like we've kind of broken it down, but can you guys share any further details about how the partnership between our two companies, Acorn and FieldPulse, works? Is there any other tips that we've left out or insider knowledge that you guys can think of?
I think, anytime, like I was saying it earlier, as a business owner, you have multiple streams of, how to make your business run. Vendors, Field Pulse does everything on your estimate side, everything you can need in there. So to have the financing in one place. We also work, for those that don't know, we meet with Field Pulse quite a bit. The feedback's always welcome. Ashley is our lovely Acorn liaison. Anything you're getting back to your Field Pulse person that you're not sure on, they're probably communicating with us. So we really try and work together. But I would always say just communication. If we don't know, we can't help. These are the type of partnerships I'm excited for, right? The outreach, getting something like financing already built into the Field Pulse value proposition. Fantastic way to start, guys. Rick, did I miss anything there?
No way, like always.
Rick's kind of the Batman to my Robin, if you guys haven't figured that out.
All right. Well, one thing we want to know is where can we find Acorn, and more specifically, how can the viewers today get in touch with you guys if they want to schedule a call or follow-up training? How can they do that?
So two things, that landing page we talked about, Ashley, that has our contractor advisor meeting link on there, as well as some contact information. But if you're looking for more direct, I want to talk with Rick. Rick's the guy. Maybe, again, we can share with you, Ashley, you can send out to the attendees. We have a QR code for Rick. You can meet with him directly. Also, maybe reach out to your FieldPulse account managers as well. Anyone needing anything, we're in direct contact with them as well. So just let us know and we can also reach out.
Perfect. Are you guys on socials or anything? Can they keep tabs with you on LinkedIn?
You guys, I'm not that cool. I am on LinkedIn. You can always add us there. And like I said, guys, the feedback from you guys in general is so important to us. So feel free to always reach out, even if it's not the best story, even if it's the best story ever, like, please let us know. We love to hear it. And we can only get better if we hear from you guys, the ones using it directly. So thank you.
That's great.
Rick, do you want to blast your Instagram, Rick, or what's your?
No way. I'm worse than you. Social media. I don't even know what that is. That's my cell phone. Just call.
I love that. Well, as always, the recording of today's session is going to be posted in the Help Center, and we're also going to be uploading that landing page that Megan has been talking about. We will put it in there so you guys can have quick access to that, and then you can schedule time with Megan and or Rick if that suits your needs there. But Megan and Rick, thank you so much for being on today and answering questions for all things homeowner financing. We really appreciate it. And there will be a survey that's going to appear after today's session. Please leave any feedback that you guys have, and that I will make sure that Rick and Megan also get that feedback as well. But thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Thanks, Ashley. Thanks, FieldPulse.